Hello and welcome to World Traveler Cooking, where we cover interesting foods and interesting cuisines from around the world. Today from Greece, souvlaki from pork. Now this can be made out of loin and or neck. Some people like to do half and half. And it's just this wonderful marinated pork that's then skewered and either cooked over open flames or in a frying pan. I'm going to do a frying pan today. Ingredients are quite simple. I'm starting with a pound, about half a kilogram of pork. To this I will use half a tablespoon of fresh thyme, half a tablespoon of dried oregano, a quarter teaspoon or so of caraway, and a pinch of allspice. I'm sort of going to start with a whole allspice and crush it. To this I will have just about a tablespoon of vinegar, white wine vinegar, and between 1 and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And again, probably half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. So I'm going to start by cutting my pork into cubes and getting my bowl ready. I'll start the marinade. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've cut the meat into cubes, roughly an inch each side, and I have my bowl here. I've put in the crushed allspice. You can use like a good sized pinch of dried allspice if you want to use that. To that, I think I forgot to mention a teaspoon of salt. And I will add my caraway. To this I'll measure out 20 grams of white wine vinegar, although you can just put in a tablespoon. And here we go. And between half and 1 tablespoon of garlic. And then half a tablespoon of each of the thyme and the oregano. And I'm just going to whisk this again. And then I'm going to add my meat to this. I'll stir it well so that the meat is coated. And then I'll let it marinate. Generally, recommendation is to let it marinate in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 hours. I think today I'm running a little late, so I will probably do it on the countertop for more like 2 hours. So, just going to stir everything. Make sure that the marinade coats all the meat. And I will probably come back and stir it again in like an hour. And yeah. So next step is I'm going to go ahead and put these on skewers. I'm going to leave little gaps in between the pieces of meat so that they cook properly. And I'm going to align the meat because this way that they will sit in a pan more nicely. So onto a hot pan, I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil. And then I'm going to start frying these on a high heat. This is probably the only case I've ever seen a recipe suggest high heat and olive oil together. And I'll be back when I start to have these done. So I have one that's done here, and you can tell by texture just because it's all the way done. Of course, we do want to cook these all the way through. We do want them well done. And yeah, So I'm just going to keep going, and I'll be back in a bit. So here's my souvlaki. Normally I would serve it with a lemon wedge, French fries, and tzatziki. But I don't have the French fries today, so I'm just going to do tzatziki. There's also something called souvlaki pie, which is often served with this, and I will do a video on that another time. And now for the taste test. I'm just going to try this little piece here. I'm going to squeeze just a hair of... Actually, I'm going to try without lemon first. This is really flavorful, really rich. Flavors of the meat and the marinade really come together nicely. I'm now going to try just a little piece with a drip of lemon juice on it. A little bit of a tough piece there. But the flavor is very nice. And if I put a little bit of it with a little bit of tzatziki, I think I'd like it with just a little bit of lemon. But I like tzatziki enough, I'd probably just eat the tzatziki straight. Now, if you like this content, you'd like to see more of it, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have anything to say about this video, love to hear from you in the comments. Recipes in the description. Bon appetit, and see you next week. At least the recipes in the description if you're watching on YouTube or Patreon. On TikTok, you'll just have to take notes because putting the recipe in the description there doesn't make sense. See you next week.